Hello, I'm EBX and welcome back to the video. As of yesterday, I hit 600,000 subscribers on this channel, which is a really big deal to me, not only because it's a cool milestone and a cool number, but also because it means enough of you have continued to subscribe to the channel that it means that I can continue to do what I love every single day, which is making these videos that you keep seeing. So, yeah, I figured it's kind of like a thank you for that and all of the sort of stuff. What I would do is I would make a special video. That's a common thing on YouTube, right? Make a special video for each milestone, and I figured the special video would be cool if I made it like a rewind, world tour. So instead of doing just a world tour of my current Let's Play, which a few people have been asking for, I would do a rewind to when I had 6,000 subscribers, which is roughly when I put out this download of my map, and go and do a world tour of the past. It's always cool to see where you came from and where you're going to, and, kind of compare the two, and that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video. Hopefully you all do enjoy it. If you do, like the video and let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets me know you do like these world tour things. I always get a lot of requests, like, tour your creative world again, tour this world again, and I don't know, if you like the world tours, I'd really love to know, because it's the sort of thing that I don't know if I personally understand, but, always curious to see what you all think too. But with that said, let's get straight into it already, shall we? And let's start by, again, explaining that this is from over 3 years ago, when I had just over 6,000 subscribers. It was like 6,700 at the time, and yeah, that's a really, really long time ago to me now. It feels like it's just ancient history, but yeah, I can recognize all of these builds, and I can remember building them right now, including, by the way, this spawn building. So, yeah, if you've watched any of the Let's Plays episode recently, if you haven't, I'll link one down below in the whole playlist. It's like 200-something episodes. If you watched an episode recently, you'll recall that this building right here, it's kind of like a weird mushroom house. It's a spawn building, as it is on the current world, but, just at the time, I decided, well, I'm going to mark spawn, and rather than having a boring marker for spawn, I figured, let's just have a checkerboard marker, and that's what I decided to do. This doesn't actually cover all of spawn, it covers like 99% of it, and I figured, it'd be cool if I just built this here, and that's what I did. It's a really strangely out-of-place thing when you look at the area around it, like stone, brick, dirt, and then just a weird checkerboard wood house, but I do like that it's here, and it means that when people join the world, it kind of gives them this different experience. So, I like the idea. I think there's definitely some, use in doing this again at some point for some form of build, but I think just having a random checkerboard on the floor probably isn't the best design ever, unless you just, you're bored and you want to use like a stack of each type of wood, then you could probably do something cool with this. So yeah, I like the checkerboard design. I think the checkerboard house might be better, but I still think there's some potential here that I didn't tap even with the thing I built with it. So also next to spawn is this bonus chest that's worth mentioning, and on the other side of spawn is the Bank of Toy Cat. The Bank of Toy Cat is one of these builds I have the coolest memories building. I don't know why I had so much love for this idea. It was just one of those things where someone was like, you should build a bank, and then my mind just starts, I guess spinning really, really fast, because that's kind of how, I guess most of the stuff on my channel gets done. I have this like tiniest of vaguest of ideas, and then it just slowly kind of spins and spins and spins and spins into something that you see in a video. So yeah, the Bank of Toy Cat is like the Minecraft build version of that, where someone said build a bank, and I was like, I could picture it right then, a giant gold T in the thing, or it might be in a diamond T at the time, but I could picture like the giant T, I could picture the pillars, and it being like a really old style bank, kind of like the ones in Harry Potter. I think that was like the inspiration, and yeah, as you can see right here, I got a lot of the building done, none of the actual vault stuff, which is now entirely finished, or like actually doing the top, but still, there's something about this just design and about the whole idea in my head that's like, oh yeah, I remember how I just decided to go do that thing. And it's always weird to look at a build that's in progress when that build's been finished for so long, and I think both of these are kind of weird examples of that. Speaking of weird examples of that, we've got ourselves our first house here. So this isn't actually my first house, this is just my spawn house, which I use, because basically this world, when I first loaded it up, like 4 years or something like that ago now, I decided to just run all the way to the north and just find somewhere to settle down, and it means my main house is really, really far away from, my spawn. So I figured I'd build a second house here, and I think episode 100 is roughly when I was building this thing, because this looks entirely different to the way it does now, besides being made out of brick. But if you actually look around the place, you can see how it's like, oh yeah, I remember that, but there's just a giant hole here. Maybe a creeper blew it up, maybe I just didn't finish it. Either way, I'm sleeping in a house with a giant hole in it, and I figured, yep, that seems about right. I do have this problem, this is something I guess that, like, maybe I had it much worse then, but not finishing builds is evidently a huge, huge problem I have. As you can tell right here, I did eventually do all of these. I eventually fixed that, and that, and that. And I think this also is just, yeah, there's just a giant hole in the wall. There's a lot of things where it's just like, yep, I'll do something with that later, it seems. And it's kind of funny to me just how often that has happened. And yeah, this is the old house. There's something kind of nice about it, the fact that it's the same layout, just minus a lot of weird stuff. And there's also something spooky about a house that is just a brick slab. I'm glad I added the windows. Probably could have been bigger than they were in the final build, but still, always nice to see something that's a work in progress and seeing it's unfinished, just like, current Toy Cat. Because, by the way, this is a road that was meant to connect the whole world. It's obviously not done here. And that's a sky rail, which has been around for the longest time, because it's one of the big projects on this world. But, yeah, I always think it's, important as we look at these things. Because people often say that, like, changing too much is a bad thing. Like, you know how people will say, you changed, man, as, like, an insult? It's a sort of thing where, on the one hand, I don't think that not changing is a good thing. Oh, by the way, I had this even back then. I can jump into the water if I want to. I don't think, like, not changing ever is a horrible thing. Like, you don't want to be the same person forever. Also, apparently this is cold enough for ice to spawn in there now. That's a weird little change. You don't want to stay the same person forever, and because that's just a negative thing. But you also, every now and then it is interesting to look at where you were before, and make sure that any changes are, like, positive. If you're like, oh yeah, look, 2013 Toy Cat used to always, I don't know, grow giant mushrooms. Isn't this a wonderful thing? In fact, you can actually see there's, like, a slightly less caring of all the builds in that, like, I would just build straight from my mind. I would have to be like, oh no, what if this horribly offends people? Because this was before I built the horribly offensive church to things that I shouldn't have built that was horribly offensive. And yeah, this was just when I was like, I want to build a magical mushroom forest, and I just did it. And there is something kind of magical to us in that sort of thing. So maybe I should get that back. Maybe I should just build however I want to, and then just not tell people the pretext if it's kind of bad, or maybe it's not good to build builds. Again, that's something I can kind of consider as we go into our cave house. So I know, like most people, I know this is a common thing to do, like settle in a cave, make a house. But my first house was a cave house, and it wasn't even a good cave house because the cave was on a ravine. So I had to, like, make a floor on the ravine, and it means that, the cave also goes up a lot, so it's not a great cave house, but there's something kind of cool about the way I turned what should have been a really awful situation into something like this. Well, yeah, by the way, even though it's a cave house, and this really should be, like, I don't know, like, you expect it to be one way, and this is just done in a very bizarrely different way. Also, it has a viewpoint out here where you can see the sugarcane farm. So, yeah, really big fan of the sugarcane farm. At this point, it was a big idea that I wanted to go all the way up to world height. I think it was the old world height, actually, because this looks like it's about Y128. As soon as they upped the world height, I was like, yep, we're going to make the sugarcane farm go up higher. But it's pretty cool that even at this time, I'd done a serious amount of effort on this. Again, so it's always cool to see a project that you spent so much time on before it even had that much time. Like, for instance, this area right here, this is what I eventually turned into the flatland. Right now, there's still water below most of it, besides, like, random bits over here. Oh, it's there. Did I cover up an entrance into a ravine? That's a bizarre thing to do, but so point being, this is a flat land, my current thing. It looks like just normal terrain. This is what happens when you don't just whitewash terrain. It's really bizarre to see, if you ask me. And yeah, it's a very, very interesting time it has been going for all of this. I think besides what you can see right here, my old melon farm, which has always been kind of rough around the edges, and then besides, I guess the rest of my house. If you're curious, I think I had more cobblestone back in the day. Oh wait. Okay, cobblestone. Okay, only 2 chests of cobblestone. Not too bad, but yeah, I actually had a very different distribution. Oh, I still had the secret stuff up here. I had a very different distribution of stuff, because I used to go mining so often. You might think, this is 3 years ago. Even in that, like, 6 months I'd been in this world, I already had collected 114 diamonds. I think I've done that math right. Yeah, 116 diamonds is what I've collected between these 2 stacks. And you might look at that, and like most people who have 116 diamonds, I imagine they wouldn't need creative or did something like that. But if you look at the branch mining I actually did for this, I just had this insane obsession with mining for diamonds. Admittedly, I still do like doing that, but not on the same level. But like literally, this branch mine, I would just spend evenings and like so much time just being like, I'm gonna go in this world and I'm gonna just go mining for a bit. And each of these branch mines, by the way, they go off in a serious amount of direction, but look how many just little individual branches I have going off all the way down that, and this is insane to me. This isn't the best layer to mine diamonds at, that's the best thing. And it's not even my only diamond branch mine either, because just up here, which looks way, way different to the way it looked before, but yeah, just up here, for instance, you can also see I've got branch mines on the left and right. I did a lot of mining. I do a lot of mining still, and I probably have about 100 diamonds lying around the world, but never to the extent that I did back then. And again, I guess this is the world where I got my mining urges slightly under control, because, if I did that today, if what I still did was just like, well, it's been a great day, and I'm having fun with the Let's Play, but all I really want to do is mine. I think it would be less interesting for everyone to watch. So I think it's a good change. I think it's an interesting change, and maybe I should try and get that diamond mining spirit back. Maybe I should do a live stream where I just go mining for diamonds. I'm sure people would love just watching me mine, but that's sarcasm, by the way. But I'm sure people would absolutely love that. But in more serious terms, I think it is always cool to see some stuff that's changed, and I think I've seen quite a bit of it from even myself today. Like I've seen how certain builds were just a lot more just thrown together in a way that I really love. I love seeing the way this is just like, oh yeah, so I did just decide to sorry, I hear a weird noise. I did just decide to just throw a bunch of mushrooms on the ground, and that's kind of interesting. I did just decide to keep on going the insane sugarcane farm, and I don't know, looking at all of this, it's been pretty cool. I enjoyed this look back. Hopefully all of you did too. If you did, I'd appreciate a like on the video. It helps out the channel a lot and lets me know you do like it. Share if you really liked it, and subscribe if you're new around here. Oh wow, I have this. Oh yeah, this. So this is also a lot less pretty than it was before. This I just blew it up, I think. Oh yeah, I did. I just blew holes in the ground. Wasn't actually the smartest idea because getting water to cover over it doesn't work like you might expect. And yeah, just that's a pro tip for life right there. Minecraft water doesn't work the way you'd expect in the real world, and if you want to fill a big area, this is not the way to do it. But anyway, yeah, that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you did all enjoy it. Thank you all again for 600,000 subscribers. I am very thankful that I get to, wake up every day, or I guess 90% of days. I get to wake up almost every day and, just focus on being able to teach you stuff that I love to learn and see and do in Minecraft, and everyone who's subscribed has made that possible. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye everyone.